So today, the Minecraft movie is coming out, and regardless of the amount of brain rot memes that have been created from the trailers or how good the movie actually is, it did get me thinking about the power scaling of the universe of Minecraft. After all, this game has been around for more than a decade at this point, and is still one of the biggest games in the world. Even if you're not a gamer, you've probably played or seen someone play Minecraft at some point in your life. In particular, the player character analog Steve has been there from the very beginning and has become infamous for being potentially the strongest Smash Brothers character in history. That raises the question, is Steve really that strong? Or should he stick to the mining and crafting? Today, we'll be putting him up against Goku because, well, wouldn't it be really funny if Steve from Minecraft could beat Goku? But that's not gonna happen, right? Either way, let's find out for sure. If you like this kind of stuff, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's jump right in. As he is the guest this time around, let's go over the power scaling of Steve first, because there is a lot to explain. Firstly, we're going to be using the scaling found within the canonical and official lore and gameplay of Minecraft. This is obviously not the live action version played by Jack Black. This also means that just because something is technically in Minecraft, that doesn't mean it is canon to Minecraft. For example, just because someone does a roleplay server where someone with a Steve skin beat up someone with a Goku skin, that does not make it a legitimate way to scale the character. And at that point, you've just made simulated fanfiction. The same thing obviously applies to mods as well. As Steve is also a video game character, there is also the issue of the clash between game mechanics and the actual game lore that can both drastically decrease or increase the scaling of his character. For example, the lore of Minecraft tells us that each world created by and explored by the player is infinite in size, but of course in practice there are limitations, both intended and unintended, that make each Minecraft world just very big and not truly endless or infinite. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Just like any Minecraft playthrough, we need to start smaller. And let's start with Steve's scaling entirely within the gameplay of Minecraft's survival mode. As a baseline, even incredibly weak mobs within the world of Minecraft are capable of destroying blocks with simple attacks or just moving their body. Take Silverfish, who through simply spawning can reduce a cube of rock into essentially imperceptible dust, which gets them to small building level and attack potency casually. While Steve cannot replicate this feat with singular attacks, at worst we can just assume that this is a game mechanic limitation, especially with how weak Silverfish are in the grand scheme of Minecraft, with Steve being able to beat these guys with basic punches and beat them even easier with his gear. Moving beyond these weak bugs, we have enemies like creepers or ghast that can generate building to large building level explosions with their fireballs or self-destructing explosions respectively, as these can destroy more than a dozen blocks and again reduce them to essentially nothing afterwards. Steve, at least with his gear, can not only directly tank the explosions of creepers, but can directly reflect back fireballs launched by gas, once again making him pretty consistently within the building to large building level of power. However, neither of these attacks are the biggest explosions possible within the Minecraft universe. For that, we need to look at the next level of power for mobs, being that of the Charged Creeper and the Wither. The Charged Creeper is obviously an upgraded version of the Creeper that occurs when it is struck by lightning. You can simply compare the creators created by their explosions to see that the Charged Creeper is on a different level of power entirely, with its explosions being city block level in potency. Similar, the explosion caused by the Wither spawning is about the same as a Charged Creeper and also falls within the city block level in power. To be fair, in most circumstances, Steve would probably be killed or nearly killed by both of these explosions, so to say he can consistently hit that hard is a bit of a stretch. Regardless, right now clearly there is no competition between him and Goku here. Even early versions of Kid Goku with a power level of 10 could already be pushing at Steve's level, as he can output building levels of power while just casually training, and Goku has a pretty clear speed advantage. Steve's best speed feat is that he can maybe tag Endermen who can sometimes dodge his arrows. Meanwhile, Kid Goku at this point is already capable of dodging bullets or at least reacting to them. So is Steve just cooked? I mean, it seems like Goku, even from the first chapter, would have no issue surviving in the world of Minecraft. Well, we have to look at the greater scaling of the Minecraft universe, and we begin with the Ender Dragon. Now, before starting to research for this video, I had no idea that Minecraft had fully official novels approved by Mojang, and one of them is called Minecraft The End, which happens to be about the End Dimension, the Ender Dragon, and everything else associated with it. And to be honest, I didn't read it. I'm unfortunately not reading a 200+ page Minecraft book for kids, but in this book, apparently, the Ender Dragon is stated capable of consuming or destroying entire galaxies, which obviously massively boost the scaling of the verse, given that Steve can 1v1 and kill ender dragons. If both of these things are true, then Steve might be galaxy level. And by extension, if you're impacting galaxies, you're probably faster than light, given how galaxies are light years across in scale. This would take him far enough to at best be in the early Boo Saga levels of power, where again, characters are just outright stated to be galaxy busters and can be implied to be far higher with ease. Again though, this is entirely dependent on this novel actually saying that the Ender Dragon is galaxy level, and assuming that the novel Ender Dragon is the same as the one from the games, and the one that specifically you fight as the player. But we can go even further and start looking at creative mode, as well as the pinnacle of Steve's scaling, which is the end poem. In creative mode, Steve within the game is invincible, has access to literally infinite amount of resources, able to one-shot every entity and block in the game while using his commands. Notably, this includes being able to destroy the usually unbreakable bedrock, which in-game requires 1,542,860 power to destroy. Based on the strength of TNT in the game and its own power, it requires continent-busting power to destroy these blocks. Steve can also use commands to change the weather, which again can get to continent level via moving clouds. This can further increase with Steve's ability to change the time of day, which involve moving a star and a moon, which would be anywhere from planet to solar system level in power. Not as impressive as the book lore, far higher than Survival Steve, but also still not enough for Goku. Now, some people at this point might bring up Steve's hacks, notably in creative mode being able to instantly kill people by just typing in command. However, something like this, and most abilities for that matter, will only actually work if they're strong enough to actually damage, harm, or affect Goku. So is he actually strong enough to do this? The only way to potentially get Steve that strong to even begin to touch current Goku is using the end poem. This is the poem that plays after you quote-unquote beat Minecraft or the Ender Dragon, and this has a couple of major implications. Most importantly, it implies that the actual world generation that occurs every time a player makes a new world in Minecraft is a part of the lore or cosmology of Minecraft itself. That each of these worlds are simply a dream experienced and created by the player, aka Steve. Furthermore, each of these dreams are stated again to be infinite worlds, and that sometimes these worlds are destroyed only to begin new ones, all done by the actions of the player. If we take this at the maximum interpretation, then Steve is the one actually generating these infinite sized universes from his casual dreams, and that all previous limitations are simply Steve choosing to be limited. Now, technically, this is implied to be one at a time for each Minecraft world, but at least the normal worlds also have the parallel nether, therefore being two infinite sized worlds at a time. There also is the issue of the fact that we don't know if Steve can actually apply this ability to anything other than just creating or destroying the worlds he explores. Can he actually punch that hard? Even assuming he can, does it matter? Now, this creation feat is the lowest possible bar for low multiversal scaling and would be at least enough to solo Dragon Ball Z, but still wouldn't be enough to beat Super Goku. Despite also being the low multiversal tier, as he's able to destroy Universe 7 with a few punches, the main difference is that the cosmology of Universe 7 is simply bigger and better than that of Minecraft's base cosmology, with Universe 7 having far more realms that are explicitly infinite or measurably comparable to those infinite spaces. In other words, a punch from Goku is stronger than anyone in Minecraft hitting that generate infinite world button. There's also the issue that ultimately the end poem is just that, a poem. It has been very much debated over by Minecraft fans, and regardless, it is fully up to the interpretation of the reader, not hard-coded into the explicit lore of the Minecraft universe. Overall, it's just far more consistent that the anime shonen fighting guy is more powerful than the voiceless player avatar in a game about digging holes and building houses. Unfortunately, I don't see a way for Steve to craft a way out of this one. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. As always, thank you to my members who got to see this video early, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.